The oil in your kitchen cabinet right now is not neutral. It is either reducing inflammation in your blood vessels, or it is feeding it, every single meal, every single day. And here is the uncomfortable part. The oils most likely to be causing harm are the ones with heart healthy printed on the label. The marketing worked so completely for so long on so many people that what sits in most kitchens today is not a cooking fat. It is a daily inflammatory dose that no medication is designed to counteract, because no one in the prescribing system ever connected the oil in your pan to the number on your blood sugar meter. So why do some people manage blood sugar effectively into their 70s and 80s, while others watch their A1C climb, despite doing everything their doctor recommends? Part of the answer is in a bottle most people reach for without thinking. This is the eternal Vigor way, the actual published science explained clearly, applied practically. Let's get into it. Before naming a single oil, you need to understand one thing, because without this, the rest won't make sense. Cooking oils contain zero sugar, zero carbohydrates, so how does a fat affect blood sugar at all? The answer lies not in what oils contain, but in what they do to your cell's ability to respond to insulin. When a cell is insulin sensitive, glucose moves out of the blood and into the cell efficiently. Blood sugar normalizes. When a cell becomes insulin resistant, that signal gets blocked. Glucose stays in the blood. The pancreas overproduces insulin. The cycle worsens. Here is where cooking oils enter the equation directly. The human body requires both omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. Both are essential, but the ratio between them governs whether your inflammatory pathways stay calm or become chronically activated. For most of human history, the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio hovered around 1.1 to 2.1. Today it is estimated between 15.1 and 25.1. The primary driver, industrial seed oils, soybean, corn, canola, sunflower, safflower, which became the dominant cooking fats beginning in the 1950s. Excess omega-6 drives the production of pro-inflammatory molecules called prostaglandins, which activate immune inflammatory pathways chronically and continuously. A landmark review published in Nature Medicine established that low-grade chronic inflammation directly causes insulin resistance in adipose tissue, liver, and muscle. The inflammatory molecules TNF-alpha, IL-6, C-reactive protein physically block insulin receptor signaling inside your cells. The insulin is present, the receptor is present, but the message does not get through. And after 60, this becomes considerably more serious because of something researchers now call inflammaging, the chronic low-grade inflammatory state described by immunologist Claudio Franceschi at the University of Bologna, in which the body's ability to resolve inflammation slows significantly with age. The same tablespoon of omega-6 heavy oil that produces a modest response in a 35-year-old produces a larger, longer-lasting response in a 68-year-old. You are not overreacting. Your biology has changed. Now let's rank the worst offenders. 5 oils, all labeled healthy, all still in kitchens right now. I'll tell you what each one does at the cellular level, and then the 3 replacements the evidence actually supports. Starting with number 5, and working toward the one that is being actively marketed to seniors as we speak in 2026. Number 5, canola oil, the least problematic on this list, but still problematic. It contains roughly 9 to 11% plant-based omega-3, giving it a starting ratio of about 2.1. The problem is that omega-3 is structurally fragile. Research in food chemistry found it degrades substantially at standard cooking temperatures. What remains after heating is predominantly omega-6, plus oxidized byproducts called aldehydes, which are cytotoxic and directly linked to impairment of insulin receptor function. Additionally, canola is extracted using hexane, an industrial chemical solvent, then refined, bleached, and deodorized. A study in Environmental Sciences Europe found detectable trans fats in commercially refined canola oils whose labels legally read 0. 3 tablespoons a day, a conservative estimate, may deliver over 1 gram of unlisted trans fat daily, from an oil your doctor may have recommended. Number 4, corn oil, omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, approximately 46.1. The primary omega-6, linoleic acid, converts readily inside the body to arachidonic acid, the direct precursor to the most potent inflammatory prostaglandins the immune system produces. Research in the British Journal of Nutrition found that subjects consuming diets high in corn oil linoleic acid showed significantly elevated C-reactive protein and IL-6 compared to equivalent calorie diets from olive oil or fish oil. Corn oil does lower LDL cholesterol in some studies, but lowering one measurement while elevating systemic inflammation is improving the number while worsening the underlying condition. Number 3. Vegetable oil. There are no vegetables in vegetable oil. The label is a marketing invention. The bottle contains 80 to 100% soybean oil. Omega-6 to omega-3 ratio of approximately 7.1, better than corn oil's 46.1, so why does it rank higher? Volume. Soybean oil consumption in the United States increased over 1,000-fold during the 20th century, according to researchers at the University of California, Riverside. It is in restaurant fryers, frozen meals, salad dressings, crackers, granola bars. The total omega-6 load from soybean-based vegetable oil dwarfs every other single dietary fat source combined. In controlled animal studies from that same research group, mice fed soybean oil as their primary fat developed significantly worse insulin resistance than mice fed equivalent calories from coconut oil, or even from a high-sugar diet. Number 2. Margarine and seed oil-based butter substitutes. In the 1960s and 70s, a public health campaign repositioned butter as a cardiovascular danger and margarine as the heart-healthy alternative. America listened. Margarine outsold butter by the 1980s. The campaign was based on science that has since been substantially revised. Trans fats, created during partial hydrogenation of seed oils to produce solid margarine, are now recognized as significantly more damaging than the saturated fat they replaced. Harvard's Nurses' Health Study, following over 84,000 women, identified trans fat intake as the single strongest dietary predictor of type 2 diabetes risk. Stronger than total sugar, stronger than total calories. Modern margarine has reformulated, but the replacement technology, intrasterification, is not clean either. A study in nutrition and metabolism found intrasterified fats reduced HDL cholesterol and impaired glucose metabolism in human subjects after just 4 weeks. Many adults over 60 switched from butter to margarine in the 1980s and never switched back because no one explicitly told them the science had changed. The correction has been quiet. The behavior persists. Number 1 is the most deceptive oil on this list because the marketing campaign behind it is not from the 1970s. It is happening right now in 2026, targeting health-conscious seniors specifically. Number 1, conventional sunflower oil. Omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, approximately 200.1, not a misprint. Approximately 65% linoleic acid with essentially zero omega-3. Corn oil at 46.1 looks moderate by comparison. Sunflower oil is being actively repositioned in 2026 as a clean alternative, appearing in products marketed to health-conscious seniors, some of which explicitly say no seed oils while listing sunflower oil as an ingredient. The technical justification is high oleic sunflower oil, a selectively bred variety with genuinely better fatty acid profile and heat stability. But high oleic varieties are expensive and rare. The vast majority of sunflower oil in consumer products is conventional. The marketing borrows the reputation of the high oleic version and applies it to the conventional one. Research in food chemistry found conventional sunflower oil produced significantly higher levels of 4-hydroxynonenal, HNE, at cooking temperatures compared to olive oil, coconut oil, or avocado oil. HNE is cytotoxic. Research in free radical biology and medicine demonstrated that HNE directly impairs insulin receptor substrate proteins through chemical modification. Sunflower oil, at cooking temperatures, produces compounds that physically damage the machinery your cells use to respond to insulin. The effect is direct and dose-dependent. Sunflower oil ranks first, not because it is necessarily worse tablespoon for tablespoon, but because the active, targeted marketing deception is happening right now to this exact audience. Before the replacements, one direct statement. If you've watched this far, you're not here for general wellness content. You want the mechanism. You want to know not just what to change, but why it matters at the cellular level. That is exactly what the Eternal Vigor Way is built for. Every week, this channel translates published research from institutions like Harvard, the NIH, and the University of California into something you can apply at your next meal without a prescription. Subscribe to the Eternal Vigor Way right now, because what's coming next goes deeper into the specific olive oil compounds that function as natural anti-inflammatories, into the overnight metabolic window most doctors never address, and into the inflammaging research that is reshaping how we understand aging and blood sugar. Subscribe, then let's finish with the 3 replacements and the 3 mistakes that cancel their benefit entirely. Replacement 3, avocado oil. Smoke point approximately 520 degrade size. High in oleic acid, very low in omega-6. Neutral flavor suitable for any application, including high heat searing and roasting. One caution, a 2020 study in food control found a significant percentage of commercial avocado oils were adulterated with cheaper seed oils. Look for a harvest or press date on the label. No date, no purchase. Replacement 2, coconut oil. Primarily saturated fat, demonized for decades on the basis of science that has since been revised. A meta-analysis published in Circulation found coconut oil raised HDL cholesterol more than any other dietary fat tested. More relevantly, coconut oil contains medium-chain triglycerides, MCTs, which bypass normal fat storage pathways and go directly to the liver for energy. Research in the journal Diabetes found MCT consumption improved insulin sensitivity in both animal and human models. Best for medium heat cooking, where its flavor profile is complementary. Replacement 1, extra virgin olive oil. This is not a close competition. The PREDIMED trial, published in the New England Journal of Medicine, randomizing over 7,400 participants, found that a Mediterranean diet supplemented with extra virgin olive oil produced significant reductions in type 2 diabetes incidence compared to a low-fat control diet, not just cardiovascular benefit, direct diabetes prevention. The mechanism, 73% oleic acid, which does not drive the omega-6 inflammatory cascade, plus a dense array of polyphenols, hydroxytyrosol, oleuropein, oleocanthal. Oleocanthal, identified by researcher Gary Beauchamp at the Monell Chemical Senses Center, operates through the same QX enzyme inhibition pathway as ibuprofen. You are actively delivering anti-inflammatory compounds with every meal. Purchasing guidance. Look for a harvest date on the label, dark glass or tin packaging, single country of origin, and an independent certification seal. Good olive oil costs approximately $10 to $15 per bottle, less than 50 cents per day, and the evidence supporting it is stronger than most supplements costing 10 times more. Mistake 1. Switching your cooking oil while continuing to eat packaged foods made with seed oils. Home cooking accounts for perhaps 30 to 40% of your total oil exposure. The rest comes from processed foods and restaurants. Fix the 30% and ignore the 70%. The inflammatory load barely shifts. The front of every package is advertising. The ingredient list is the truth. Mistake 2. Reusing oil between meals. Every heating cycle accelerates oxidation, degrades protective polyphenols, and increases aldehyde concentrations. Fresh oil every time. A tablespoon of olive oil costs 15 cents. Your insulin sensitivity is worth 15 cents. Mistake 3. Treating the oil change as sufficient in isolation. Seed oil replacement reduces one significant driver of chronic inflammation, but if high glycemic carbohydrates remain dominant, or if protein intake is inadequate for muscle maintenance after 65, the metabolic environment is improved but not transformed. Research from the University of Texas Medical Branch, led by Dr. Blake Rasmussen, showed that protein synthesis efficiency in muscle declines after 65, meaning older adults require more protein per meal than younger adults to achieve the same anabolic response. The oil change is a meaningful beginning. It becomes most powerful when combined with the food sequencing and meal timing principles that address every other window of the 24-hour metabolic cycle. Everything covered today. the 5 oils, the inflammation mechanism, the cellular pathway from seed oil to insulin resistance. This is published biology, not opinion, documented in peer-reviewed research from institutions you trust. Most people who watch this will understand it. Far fewer will act on it. The ones who act on it will find, at their next blood panel, that a number has shifted, and their doctor will say, whatever you're doing, keep doing it, without necessarily knowing why it worked. If you want to be the person who understands why, subscribe to The Eternal Vigor Way, not for motivation, for the scientific literacy that produces measurable outcomes. Subscribe now. Share this with someone still cooking with vegetable oil because their doctor said it was safe. 3 steps. This week, remove every bottle of canola, vegetable, corn, sunflower, and safflower oil from your kitchen. Replace with extra virgin olive oil for low to medium heat, avocado oil for high heat cooking, and coconut oil for baking. Total investment, $25 to $35. Duration, 4 to 6 weeks of use. Conduct a pantry audit. Read every ingredient label. When seed oil products run out, replace with olive oil or coconut oil versions. Apply the restaurant rule. Ask what oil the kitchen uses. Choose grilled over fried. Request olive oil and vinegar instead of house dressing. The oil in your cabinet is either feeding inflammation or reducing it every meal, every day, for decades. The change costs less than most supplements. The evidence is stronger than most prescriptions, and it begins tonight. I'll see you in the next one.